Good morning, Friday. Woo! That's what a lot of people say, right? Thank God it's Friday, right? Thank God it's Friday. I said to you guys a few days ago, thank God it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all of it, right? Thank God we woke up like we're above ground. Yes, can we celebrate that? Let's do it. Let's do it. I just want to know if you're watching. I just want to know where you're tuning in from. How is the energy? Did you get enough rest? Oh my gosh. So I like getting 7 to 8 hours of rest. That did not happen yesterday, okay? When you are stepping into something new, sometimes, well, I would say most times, you have to invest and you have to sacrifice something. So yesterday was my sleep. I went to the South Florida meetup and I am so excited. As some of you know, I am transitioning back into being a real estate investor, and I love that. And it is what I wanted to talk to you guys about, because who's in a transition? Let me know. Who else? Don't leave me out here. Don't leave your girl out here. Who else is transitioning? Whether you're going into a new business, it's a new relationship, God forbid you just got divorced, or maybe you just got married, you just had your first kid, or maybe your little gang that you're building, right? Like I did with my 4, and sometimes it's scary, and I am so grateful. Yesterday, Coach Creighton, I just love the morning, the daily dial, right? I'm part of the sub-2 community with Pace Morby, and I just love our community. I am so excited. I'm so grateful to God that as I'm transitioning, I have this incredible support team, right? And, you know, I'm not new to real estate. I'm not new to investing or the game of it. But, you know, as a single mama, back in the day when I started real estate investing, so I got my license in 2005, and I moved here, Florida, from California, and invested all my money and lost it all. And it was like, I'm good. and 2 years later, it was like, I'm good. I don't want to do this. And then I went back into it about 10 years ago and did some other things. I owned a construction company, so I've done plenty of, flips. And, when you help people with fires and you're rebuilding their property, you're kind of doing a major rehab, right? So I have done all that, but full-time dedicating myself to it, you're going to make mistakes, and it's scary and it's hard. And yesterday, that's what the conversation was about. So Coach Creighton, and I love him, and I'm so grateful to Caroline Kane and Tanisha and all the people that daily show up to teach us. And if you're looking for real estate investment and you're looking to learn, oh my gosh, Pace Morby's community is like no other, the sub-2 and creative financing. So you can look him up, and I'll put in the comment a link to one of his videos so that you know who the guy I'm talking about. But the whole conversation was, there was this guy, he says, I stay in my head. I'm trying to remember the guy's name, but I don't remember. But this happens to all of us. So I could have been that guy talking. You do the training, you listen to this, you listen to that, and it's like, well, I don't want to make the calls because, I'm just not ready. Let's say that is the objection. Or I am only going to make this many calls. Or, in my line of work, so I've been a public adjuster for 36 years. And like I said a few days ago, recently licensed in the state of Hawaii, and excited about that, right? Because it allowed me to be able to show up for families that have claims. It allowed me, I'm just some chick, right, from uptown Manhattan that actually fights insurance companies for a living. And I'm grateful to my mentors. I'm grateful to Bob Young. May he rest in peace. You know, all those people that came before me and coached me and helped me and said, listen, you can do this thing, right? And I've been licensed as a public adjuster since 91. Like I said, I started in construction in the 80s. And, you know, anything that you are stepping into is scary. People would say to me, you're so good. You know, like, how do you imagine this? God forbid your house is burning down and you have 15, 20 people. Good morning, Shannon. It's so good to have you here, my sister. And you have 15, 20 people showing up. That was us. And people would say to me, like, you're so good at what you do. No, I'm not. I listen. That's what helped me in that business. I listened to the needs of people. I did not talk as much as salespeople spoke. I wanted to get to the bottom line, what they needed. Do they need a place to stay? Do they need a board up? Do they need to secure the property? Do they have, you know, pets that they need to place? Like, what is the need right now? And I can come alongside. It wasn't about, hey, sign here, sign here, sign here, like everybody else. And it was my consistency. I'm so grateful to God that, you know, I was crying with my mother the other day because it's like I was telling her, you know, I learned my grit from that little lady. She would work in a factory and then she would come home and she would sew till the weird hours of the night and then back again at 5 a.m. and do it all over again. So she worked 16, 18, and on weekends, like crazy hours to be able to raise us and put us to college, right? And how could I not show up? And I did share about that. But the thing is this, when you are starting something new, I am starting something new. I just want to fail fast. Like, can we just make the calls and make all the mistakes? That's what Coach Creighton was telling this individual as he was coaching him. He's like, well, can we celebrate the very fact that you made 25 calls to people that are, you know, he was, I think, doing direct to agent, right? And if you're in South Florida or anywhere really as an agent and you have a family that does not have equity, but they need to sell, like we can find a way to be able to buy that home in a creative manner. And that's what he was doing. And because a lot of agents, we call them unicorn agents, right? They don't understand creative financing. They're like, well, that's illegal. No, my client is not gonna keep the mortgage under his name and for you to take over that mortgage. Like, I'm sorry, I'm going to come in as an investor. I am going to probably put $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 into your property. There's going to be a performance deed. So if I don't pay the note, like you don't have to foreclose on me. If I miss a payment, you can take over because that contract protects you and also protects me as an investor. But because they don't understand and they don't teach that in real estate school, like it's not our Gold Coast, right? They don't understand the concept and it's hard because you're there. You know, he was saying to this individual, listen, you want to start with, hey, your commission, because I'm sorry, I am a real estate broker, but you know, many agents like, and I'll put myself out there, right? All they care about is their commission. They're not really thinking about the owner. And if I bought that house 2 years ago and I have no equity, like the only way that I can probably sell that home and not have to write a check at the closing table, it's probably going to be if I structure the deal in a way that's creative. But because they don't understand, it's hard and they don't know how to explain it to their client. And therefore, instead of, presenting the offer to the owner, to the seller, they just say, no, my client won't take that. So basically what Coach Creighton was saying is, listen, can we celebrate the fact that you made 25 calls and you did not die? And that really ministered to me, because it's like, okay, well, and it just got me going. I actually, 2 weeks ago, I reached out to this attorney, and he's a foreclosure attorney. And there's this deal that I've been following, and it's like it got me into action. Yeah, I'm not going to die. It doesn't matter what that attorney tells me. I know I'm coming to the table with value, regardless, right? People will call me when I was, because that's what we are. We're fire chasers, right? That's what I did. So people would say, you're nothing but a vulture. You're nothing but a fire chaser. And, and I was like, yes, I am. You're right. I am a fire chaser. And it could seem that I'm a vulture, but I'm here to bring value. And I know I was clear. I know what I bring to the table. I know that most insurance companies are going to try to pay you 40, 60% less than your settlement. And I know that at the end of the day, I have enough history with my clients to feel very secure in my position of showing up and saying, hey, how can I serve and support you? And if you want to hire me, awesome. And if not, awesome. It's all good. I would tell people right as they're, cursing me out or whatever, I would say that and say, listen, whether you hire me or not, like, you're not my provider. God is my provider. And if he wants me to have this job, you could be saying all that and he would open those doors, right? And if he doesn't want me to have this job, like, I don't want this job either. So I'm here to tell you, hey, there's the Red Cross that you can call and they will help you and they will give you somewhere to stay today. The city may be able to just do your boat up for free if you don't have insurance. And I spend more time with people with no insurance than people with insurance, because I was sincerely there to help. And especially if I was dealing with a single mom, because I was a single mom for many years. And it's like, oh my gosh, what are you going to do? Especially if you're renting, you have no renter's insurance. I saw a handful of people in 36 years with renter's insurance. Most people do not have insurance, and it is the cheapest insurance to purchase, but most people don't have it, right? So they don't have a way, and all of a sudden you lose everything, because 95% of my clients were fire survivors. I don't say fire victims. They were survivors. God allowed them to survive this thing, and I like to look at it from that perspective, right? But going back to my subject, fail fast. I said, that's right. I am going to send an email to that attorney. And I did. And I actually picked up the phone and I called the owner. And I said, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. And I said, and she's like, and why are you calling me? I'm sorry. This is what Caroline says. I'm sorry. I think this is probably a mistake. I think it's a mistake. But I have a list, and your home is actually on the list of pre-foreclosure. It's probably a mistake. I'm probably calling, and it's probably a mistake. And when I said, hey, I'm calling because your name is in the pre-foreclosure list and my job is to give you options, then she calmed down. But see, I did not die. It's someone that is in need. And I said, listen, I would like to buy your property, but before we do all that, these are the options that we can walk you through first. Because if your desire is to be able to keep your home, then let's see if we can do a loan modification. Do you have any money on your 401k? Hey, can we go to family and friends? Do you have equity? Like, we can actually walk through the other options if at the end of the day, You have tried all these options, or these options do not pertain. Would I like to buy your house? Yeah. But the whole thing is, many times we think, because we are not familiar with something, like when we actually go forward with going and making the mistakes, it accelerates the learning. It really, truly does. Okay, that did not work, right? That did not work. That's one thing. That's data that I can actually utilize for something else. And it may be that, you are dealing with a teenager that is difficult to deal with. And you go, hey, honey, can we talk? The other day, our youngest son, he's in Mexico. His dad has an excursion business, and he is, practicing his Spanish and learning sales, and it's such a beautiful time. And I'm grateful to his dad for just that time with him, one-on-one, to teach him and actually, able to pour into his son. And, but he starts going over this and that and the other, and just all these things, and just all flustered. And I'm like, hey, Daniel, I just want to say that I love you. And I just totally shifted his mindset, because if I continue to go down that road, it was not going to get us anywhere. It was going to get us into an argument. Oh, that didn't work. Let me try this. So it may be that you're talking to your boss, or maybe it's your client, and you approach it in this way, and you say, oh, that didn't work. That's great data, right? That's what we're looking for, is data to be able to say, okay, and that accelerates our learning, right? The second thing that we're able to do when we actually move forward and fast is cost efficient, right? You can actually say, okay, these resources, let's say that I decided, I'm still trying to figure it all out, right? I want to be able to wholesale. I want to be able to talk to people that are in pre-foreclosure. Can I do direct to agent? Can I talk to agents? Of course. I can talk to agents that their listings are about to expire and actually bring a solution. But I have to focus on one thing. And if I actually do pre-foreclosure and make those calls and it doesn't work, then maybe I want to do this thing, but I have to give it a chance. Can I do that? Can you and I stay committed to something to be able to say, hey, it worked, or no, it did not work, and I can redirect my energy towards something else, right? The third reason why we want to go and move fast is because of innovation. It encourages experimentation and creativity, right? That's what God plays into each and every one of us. I believe that God is a creator, and we're like, I'm made in his image. Another thing that Coach Creighton talked about is, he said, when, and I'll say it the way my late sister used to say it, Maggie, and I quote her a lot because she was such a mentor to me, more so now that she's in the presence of God than when she was alive, unfortunately. If I had one more minute with my sister, I would acknowledge her wisdom. Like she used to say, when the cucarachas all up in here are talking really loud, and I added, when the mean girl up in here is talking all the crap, right? You got to come back to truth. So Coach Creighton was saying, you need to add, I am strong. I am capable. I am willing and able to do this job. I'm here to bring value, right? So a lot of times we stay in our head about the wrong things. And the longer you and I stay in our head with all the cucarachas running wild all up in here, and there's no gratitude, right? Then it's hard. But when you come back to the name, the most important name, I am that I am. I am capable. I have history with myself, and so do you, that you can do hard things. I was looking at my bodybuilding pictures, right? Because I was going to make a post about strength, the post that I made right before this live. And I was looking at my pictures for my competition, and it's like, girl, I know, if if you're Christian and you're going to judge me, you may want to turn off your camera right now, because I'm about to curse. I do say one curse word though. So I just looked at my pictures, and I'm just giving you time to turn it off, because I am going to curse, and I mean that. I looked at my pictures and I said, girl, you're a badass. You did that thing. And I was so grateful, because I had the accident. I was in the wheelchair, as I was being trauma-hocked, and I came out in ICU, and I realized that I had no ability to actually walk or take care of myself or do anything. Oh my gosh, like my entire life was going to change. And it was a 5-year process, from a wheelchair to surgery to people taking care of me. Like, my husband literally left his industry to be a full-time caretaker, because I had no ability to take care of myself. And I'm grateful to my husband for that. I'm grateful to the people that were there for me. But when you go from there, I put on a whole bunch of weight. I had no strength in my body. And I looked at the before, and then I looked at me in a neck brace after surgery, struggling. And a year to the date, me on stage, winning the motivational award at the MPC at Andres' show. I was like, yeah, girl, you're a badass. You did that thing. And I want you to go back. I want you to go back and get that data where you showed up for you, for your family, and you did that thing, because that's going to help you to show up and do it faster. Another thing is resilience. There is this bounce back faster when you actually go all in and you make all the mistakes. And it's like, okay, that did not work, but we get to move. And I am grateful. It's a couple of minutes before my alarm is going to go off. And when my alarm is going to go off, I got to go, because I am scheduled for a mammogram today. Would encourage you to go get yours done if you haven't gotten yours done this year. Extremely important to have things done, right? I saw a sign, prevention is the cure. It's true. If, certain things are caught early enough, then we may have a better chance. My sister was diagnosed when she had stage 4. And, I know that God has a perfect time for all of us to be born and for all of us to be in his presence. But I wonder, what if it would have been caught, at stage 1? It could have been different, is what I say. So fail fast, right? Fail forward and keep doing the thing. Not sure if it's in your marriage, in your relationship, in your job, maybe in your fitness. Just go out and let's go out and do this thing. And make sure that you find the right people that will help you to get there faster. There was a guy that was in our community in sub 2 for 2 years, okay? For 2 years. And he was not able to do any deals. But then he took Carolyn Kane's, all the steps that she teaches, and he followed that pattern, and he was able to get deals in a very short time, in less than 30 days. And if you have a coach, if you have a mentor, and sometimes, we say it's a mindset thing, right? I can't afford a coach. I can't afford a mentor. And I just think I can't afford not to have someone that has come before me that knows how to do this thing. I'm going to be 60 this year. I don't have all that time. I want to get on that fast, boat. I want to go fast speed. I just want to go. And if they made the mistakes already, I want to avoid those mistakes. How about you? Can we be committed to just build confidence as we fail, as we experience? There is, this one guy said that he was actually saying thank you to Coach Creighton. He said, the biggest thing that I learned is to talk nice to myself. He said, if I had a kid, the example that he gave is if you have a child that actually fails at hitting the ball, right? On his first try, you don't go and say, hey, you dumb, da-da-da-da-da. No, you encourage them and keep going, Connie. You can do this. Of course you can. I would literally tell the kids, you can fly. If you want to fly, fly. You can do anything. To the point where, again, our youngest son, Daniel, would say, Mom, stop it with all that stuff, okay? I can't do all that stuff. And I would say, of course you can. It's all in here. If you believe you can, as a man thinks in his heart that he is. So make sure that you are being nice to yourself in the way that you will be nice to your friend, nice to your coworker, nice to your significant other, nice to your child. Make sure that you and I are practicing those things. I have that thing that I share with you guys where I intentionally go up to the mirror. That's where a lot of my selfies are created. And I go, girl, listen, smelling like heaven. I'm not going to say hell right now because I just got out of the gym. Sweat everywhere. No makeup, no lashes. Girl, you look good. And here's my second curse word. Again, turn it off. And no judging. I don't want to hear no DMs, okay? I haven't backslid, you all. I love Jesus still. But I do say this. Damn, girl, you look good. So just go up to your mirror, your closest mirror. It could be your car rear view mirror, and just say it. Practice. Girl, you look really good. God has approved you. He loves you. I love you. If nobody else has said it today, I love you. And I'm grateful to have you in my life. Be blessed. Go do all the mistakes so we can get better on the other side. Let's do this. Let's do this thing. God bless.